mother is an incredible cook, and there was actually one year where I didn't eat chametz after Pesach for at least 3 days because I was just enjoying the delicious leftovers that my mother made from Pesach.
I used to make coconut pyramids with my grandma, one of my grandmas, and the other one would do the most amazing cinnamon balls. And I still haven't made cinnamon balls like my grandmother used to make them. But my mother-in-law is fantastic. She makes the best cinnamon balls, and she brings a great box of them over for the SEDER night, and then we eat them over the week. I love them.
Pesach shopping is a nightmare because we never make a plan, and we just go to Kosher Kingdom and we run around buying stuff.
I actually have a memory as a child of the milkman delivering special Pesach milk in a milk bottle, and my mother complaining that the milk was going to go off within 2 days, and I think it did.
Well, you wouldn't know the difference. It was horrible.
So every year we buy something like jelly, which we never make and never eat, and every year we buy kind of packets of potato latkes, which we never make and is not really a Pesach thing anyway.
You do see that a lot of the time around 8th day Pesach. People are beginning to get major chametz munchies. They're basically like, 5 hours left till pizza, 4 hours left till pizza. And I live quite near Carmeli's in Golders Green, and infamously on the night after Pesach there will be queues out the door at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning where people are just waiting to get their dough fix, I guess.
My oldest son, we sat down and he served ice lollipops. Why? Why is this night different to all other nights?
Every year at my grandmother's house for Passover, and this is in Los Angeles, not in London, by the way. We all gather around and my grandma makes her famous pea soup, and for some reason, I don't know why, all the kids like adding a bunch of sugar to it, so it's kind of like a sweet pea soup, and the sweeter it is, the better.
The chrein was always strong, and the cheese, loved the Pesach cheese.
But hated the Pesach milk.
There's nothing about any other aspect of Pesach food that I have anything other than dislike for, but plavour, I will eat it. If I had it, I would eat it every moment of every day.
Plavour cake is the worst. It's worse than matzah. It doesn't taste of anything. It starts off stale. You can put as much jam on it as you want. No, thank you. So since I've moved out, every year that I've made my own Pesach, I will not go near plavour. I categorically refuse to buy a plavour cake.
It's always delicious. It's always lovely. It's always a lot of hassle.
Was it going to be bonds? Was it going to be recusants? Who likes bonds and who likes recusants? Major argument. Recusants always won out.
I love matzah. So you've heard of the cookie monster. I'm a matzah monster.
The matzah, the other stuff, it's like, I can't stand matzah, to be honest. I can think of no redeeming features that it has.
Waking up on the first day Pesach and having my first matzah and strawberry jam. Now they don't make the strawberry jam like they used to, because you used to get the whole strawberry and eat around the matzah until you were just left with that one whole strawberry and a tiny bit of matzah, and that was pretty much perfect.
So every year at SEDER night, we'd have the eggs and salt water, and my grandma would say, "Oh, this is so delicious, why don't we have it all year round?" And bless her, she died 25 years ago, but every year now we say, "Oh, and do you remember how Grandma used to say, these are so delicious, why don't we have them all year round?" And then we never have them all year round, but they are delicious.
My most memorable SEDER is the first year we came to live here 15 years ago. Our son had invited colleagues, friends from the university from all over the world. The SEDER started off with the Manish Tana, and every person had to say the Manish Tana in their own language. We had English, Hebrew, Afrikaans, Russian, German, and French. Towards the end of the SEDER, you sing a song called Dayenu, and the one couple who are Sfadim suddenly picked up bunches of spring onions and walked around bashing them on everybody's head. This was their tradition. When we got home in the early hours of the morning, couldn't believe the birds were singing. Why? We'd started the Seder after the Shabbat had gone out, and it was the early hours of the morning.
So just a little background information. Both my parents are Moroccan, we're very Sephardi, and every year for Passover we have a bit of a quirky tradition where we grab the seder plate and normally the father or the head of the household will take the seder plate and go around from the oldest person around the table to the youngest child, and we all sing a very traditional song while the seder plate is being held on top of the person's head and kind of just turned around, and you tap the person's head a bit, and it's meant to be good luck and for a good year, and everyone's praying that the next year we'll all be in Jerusalem together.
I was struggling with memories for this, so I can remember really long seders with Haggadahs that you had the things that you played with, and every year you'd open it up and there'd be the matzah crumbs from the year before that would come flood out everywhere.
Yeah, the memory seared into my head about Seder night as a youngster was the arguments my grandfathers always had about whose Haggadah was right and the order of the service, let alone the tunes that we were going to be singing or anything. It was just every year it was the same thing.
I love Pesach. It's one of the most wonderful times of the year, and I can't wait to enjoy it this year again.